All right, guys and girls, BLP Jet Ski, I want you to learn from my mistakes on this one. So here I have a 2006 Kawasaki STX 12F naturally aspirated motor. When I bought this motor, I bought this ski, it had several things wrong with it. I got a good deal on it. So I bought it. I did a compression on the motor. The compression was low. These Kawasaki's are high compression motors, and it needed a minimum of 180. I believe the specs in the book says 180 to 260. Obviously, with a little variation, it probably would have ran. On all 4 cylinders, the compression was low. So I pull the motor. This is almost a year ago. I pulled the motor, rebuild it from the bottom up, took it completely apart, main bearings, thrust bearings, everything, top end, new pistons, everything. Anyhow, in my eagerness, put a new fuel pump in it, injectors, all kinds of things. The screen didn't work, but in my hastiness to get it back together so I could either A, ride it, or B, sell it, or both, I did everything with the motor. Tested compression on the bench. Compression was great. Put it in the machine, fired it up, ran like a top, tested it in the water several times. Great, no problems. None. I was happy about it. But the screen didn't work. Up here, the screen. So I parked it in on the trailer in the yard, had it covered up, battery tender on it, the whole 9 yards. And I said I would go out there every so often and fire it up, and just to make sure things were good with it. Well, it sat over the winter. And it sat most of all summer, got busy working on other skis, working on other projects, working on other things, and it's just been sitting there. But of course the battery tender's been on, so I didn't worry about it. Well, fast forward, I finally buy a screen for it. So I come out here to put a new screen in it, test everything out, and go to fire it up, and the jet pump's locked up. So just from sitting, the corrosion on the wear ring, squeeze down on the jet pump, and the jet pump froze. Well, when I had the machine apart last time, had I done my due diligence and pulled all of this out and fixed it right the first time, or went through the whole machine, that is, but at the time, everything looked fine with the jet pump, and I was in a rush to get the motor back in it and test everything out, and I did that, and everything went fine. But to put the new screen in it and test everything out, the jet pump was locked up. Well, not a big deal. I'll pull the jet pump, rebuild it, put it back in. No. The shaft is seized on the end of the jet pump. The shaft will not come out. I've done everything I could. I've put rust remover stuff to try to get it freed. I've sprayed it a bunch of times with penetrant and all kind of stuff. I've put heat to it, cannot get it to break loose. So the only other option is to pull the motor. But as you can see, the motor's sitting on the ground. It don't have an hour or two on it. And now I'm gonna have to cut the shaft to pull it apart. But the reason why I went ahead and did it, because I'm gonna do it 100% right. Put a new shaft in it, put a new jet pump on it, put a new bearing in it right here. That way when this machine goes back together, it'll be almost brand new as far as the drivetrain goes. So I said all that to say I want you to learn from my mistakes. I took my time and I rebuilt the motor and I made sure everything was meticulous and everything worked great. I was ecstatic on how it ran. The issue is I just didn't pay attention to everything else. Even though the jet pump at the time was not locked up, it looked good as far as examining the wear ring, and I said, well, it should be fine. I didn't know that I would be facing this problem. So here we are 8-9 months later, after a fresh rebuild, and only rode it a couple times, just really testing it. I'm having to pull it all back apart, and I'm having to pull the shaft. I have to cut the shaft and pull it all out and put all new parts in it. So I said all that to say, if you're gonna take on a big project like this, go ahead and check everything meticulously and take the time to fix it then. And even though mine wasn't broke, it's just one of those things where while I had the engine out and while I was waiting on parts to come in, I could have pulled everything else apart. So, of course, it's got some oil in the bottom where the oil hose was loose and spilled down in there. But as you can see, it's, other than a little bit of mold, it's fairly clean. It looks great. All the stuff is in good shape because I just got done working on this thing. But anyhow, the motor's out. I'm obviously going to have to cut the shaft. I even took the rod plate loose, hoping that getting the rod plate loose would give me more access, but there's nothing. I did everything I could, and as you see, it looks good. I mean, it spins, it's loose, but it will not come off of that shaft. So with all of that being said, learn from my mistakes. If you're going to do something, not that I did it wrong, but just replace everything you can, everything potentially that may be a problem. And that's why I'm going to do it this time. I'm going to spend the money and put all new parts on it. Maybe I can save the jet pump once I cut the shaft and pull it out. But the only way to get this coupler off is I have to pull it out. And to put a new one in, the motor had to come. I could lift the motor up and slide under it, but I'm just going to go ahead and move the motor out of my way so I have plenty of space to do what I need to do. But just a lesson learned from me to you. I mean, it sucks to have to do all that, and I wish I would have just paid attention to it, or not even really paid attention to it, just went ahead and did what I needed to do then, and then I wouldn't be fighting it now. But lesson learned on my part. Like I said, you know, if you're ever going to do a motor rebuild, go ahead and pull your jet pump off just to look at it. And you're just going to take, you know, 30 to 45 minutes to an hour to take it apart and look at it, just to confirm that it's good to go. If it is, great. If it's not, then you fight the battle while it's apart, and not when do like I did, put it back in there, and but got the engine on a little stand here. I'm gonna put it on a table and cover it up until I can get my parts, and still got a bunch of work to do to this thing. So I'll give you an update whenever as we move along. But right now, learn from my mistakes, or should I say, heed to my advice. And if you see anything on a big project like this, just go ahead and do it. Go ahead and fix it, make it right. You know, and I said we ran the ski. The ski didn't leak. It rode good. The jet pump didn't give me any issue. But I guess just sitting there for the 6 or 8 months, you know, the corrosion got to it, I guess, and it swole up that stainless wear ring enough to lock down on the. And I sense if before I pulled the motor, I pulled the coupling back and the motor fired right up. And I'll put a video of that in there, and I also put some pictures of the rebuild before. And like I said, it had water in the oil, and I'll just put all that out there where I had the thing completely apart. So learn from my mistakes. I don't claim to know it all. I never will, I hope. But it's just one of those things that if I can heed to you a little bit of advice to help you push through and you know, do the job once, then that's the best case scenario. So I'm gonna be out. I just want to kind of bring an update and tell you one of the projects. I got another project here, 02 GTX DI with 951. I just finished a buddy of mine's 23-300, putting a stage 2 on it. So just moving right along, you know, taking work as I can. I got a full-time job doing other things, so this is just a hobby and I can't say a hobby, but it's just a part-time gig for me, and just enjoy working on them, something to keep my little peanut brain busy. But anyhow, I'll try to throw some more pictures in the video of it running. And so anyhow, if you find this helpful or interesting, I ask you to comment, like, and if you don't mind, subscribe to the channel. Like I say, I'm just a shade tree mechanic, so to speak. Just been working on small engines and power sports stuff off and on for many, many years since I was a kid. And I do it as, like I say, a part-time gig and a hobby. And so if you find this stuff interesting and just kind of want to follow along, then thank you so much. But like I said, I'll add some pictures and videos of the machine running before. So I appreciate you and appreciate you watching. All right, this machine hadn't been started in 8 months, something like that. Not bad.